Hello, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is this message that I want to share with you guys. The message that you are going to be listening to comes from a translation that was sent to me by one of our admins. My brother, I have come to you so that I can share with you everything that is going on in our life. As a family, we are no longer speaking to each other. The crime that we committed is that we went around looking for help. According to our relatives, we were just supposed to sit around and do nothing and just suffer and not to complain. The reason why I have decided to contact you is recently I came across my own cousin sister in town. But the way that we met, we just pretended as if we don't even know each other, but yet we are blood relatives. So that truly disturbed me when I thought that this is my own blood, but here we are pretending as if we don't even know each other, pretending like we were just total strangers. Back in the day when me and my siblings had just accepted the fact that we were born to suffer, all of our family members, I mean the extended family, our cousin brothers and our cousin sisters, they showed us love. But this whole thing just changed the day that me and my siblings said that we have to go around so that we can get help. And when we were going out to get help, we never did this in secret. We told all of our relatives that we have to go out to find a solution to our problems, because this problem that we are facing as a family, it is only facing me and my own siblings. The rest of my cousins, they are okay. They are wealthy people. It is only me and my siblings. We are the ones that are suffering. So when we told them that we had decided that we are going to get help, it was like we had declared war in the family. The way that our cousin sisters and our cousin brothers are treating us, it is like to them we no longer exist. But me and my siblings, when we went around trying to find a solution to our problems, it was never our intention to divide the family. In fact, we never thought that if we go around, we were going to cause division. We actually thought that we were doing the family a favor so that we can get rid of all the evil that might be in the family. After we had told all of our extended family members that me and my siblings, we were going out to seek help, they never gave us any response if they were going to join us or not. So I just took all of my mother's and my father's children, then we went together. When we went there, we were told that one of our uncles, our father's older brother, he was the one who was causing all of this misery that we are facing. Growing up, this uncle of ours, he was the one who was taking care of us. For us, he paid all of our school fees. He was also taking care of our father and our mother. We actually called him father because he was the father figure in our family, but we never knew that behind he was doing all of these rituals. That place where we went, we were told that back in the day, our uncle, he was working in the city. He was working for this certain white man. So when that certain white man left the country going abroad, and he gave our uncle that dog, and that story we still remember it. Growing up, we heard that our uncle, when he returned from the city, he had a bulldog. So in the village, what they did is that they gave that bulldog milk that was mixed with poison, because in the village, people were just jealousy that our uncle had been given a bulldog by a white man. That is how that bulldog then died. After that bulldog had died, our uncle then dug up a grave in the compound. That is where we were told that he had buried his beloved bulldog. But the place where we had gone to consult, we were told that it was all a lie. They told us that even if you were to open that grave today, you are not going to find anything. There is no dog in that grave. But what happened is that when our uncle came from the city, there was this other man who was working for my uncle. That man was just working in the village, and he was taking care of our uncle's house and also herding sheep, goats and cattle. So when our uncle came back from the city, he organized some people to murder that person who was working for him. after they had murdered that guy, then they used his body parts for the rituals. And that person whom we had gone to consult, he said that right now, if you open that grave, there are things that have been placed in that grave, and the spirit of that man, they made some rituals so that that spirit can always be in that grave. But soon after that man had been buried, his spirit could not find rest. He kept on troubling our uncle. But what our uncle did is that he did another ritual, and he then directed the spirit of that man that he had just murdered so that it can trouble my father, my mother, me, and my siblings. And that is what is happening to us right now, my brother. When I look at my own family, people are dying. My sister's children are dying. In our family, my brothers and my sisters have died. Recently, we have this sister of ours. Our sister was someone who was gifted by the ancestors. She could see and she could dream. Whenever she would have a dream, those things will happen. She would tell you what was going to happen tomorrow. Before her death, she called us into the room where she was sleeping, and she said to us, I am about to die. This is going to be goodbye. But I want to tell you, the person who has killed me, uncle, is the one who has killed me, because he has sent the spirit of that man that he has murdered, yes, he has sent that spirit to kill me. Each and every time I see the spirit of that man, he comes into this room, he will be holding a very big knife. He would want to stab me with the knife. Whenever I ask him, why do you want to stab me with a knife? What wrong have I done to you? Why don't you go back to the person who has murdered you? That man's spirit then leaves the room, but he comes back. When he comes back, he will be more angry, and he will tell me that where you have sent me, they have chased me away. They have told me that I have to come back and I have to kill you. Before our sister died, she told us that in that same grave that our uncle said that he buried his beloved bulldog, there is no dog in that grave. Instead, there is a knife and there is a walking stick. That knife is the same knife that was used to murder that man that used to work for our uncle when they took his parts and they used it for money-making rituals. And also in that grave, there is a walking stick that they used to beat up that man when they were busy murdering him. Then our sister just died like that. Brother Nash, in our family, the way that people die, they are the same. Even if a person is in critical condition, but a few days before his or her death, that person will just get strength from nowhere. That person will be fighting until the end. You can actually try to hold him down, but he can overpower you. I don't know where they will be getting the strength from. You see what happens when you try to slaughter a chicken. The time that you'll be slaughtering it, that chicken can try to escape, but as it tries to violently escape, it can actually break its own bonds. That is what happens to all the people that die in our family. It doesn't matter that it will be an old person or a young person. That is the way that people just die in our family. There is no relative of ours that we have known that have died a peaceful death. All of our relatives that have died that we know of, they just die a violent death, as if they are trying to escape from someone who is trying to murder them. That is how people in our family die. When I look at my own life, my brother, bad luck just follows me everywhere where I go. I saved up some money so that I can buy a used car, and I bought a used car, but I just drove that car for a few days. Then that car just broke down. But what surprised me is that when I went to buy these used cars, I actually hired a professional mechanic. I just didn't pick up a mechanic from the road. I went and I picked up a professional mechanic, and I went with that guy. And that guy confirmed that this car was actually in good condition because he used each and every machine to test the engine of that car, and he gave me the thumbs up. He said that you're going to repair this car after a very long time. But sadly, after driving that car for a few days, it just broke down. Then I took it in, and the quotation that they gave me on that car, for me to fix that car, it was going to cost me the exact same amount that I had used when I was purchasing that car. Then I said, okay, it is fine. Maybe it is just bad luck. Then my younger brother, he told me that he also wanted to buy a used car. So he didn't have enough money. He had to buy those old modeled cars, those cars that were made in the early 2000s. Then he bought that car. But the same thing that had happened to me is the same thing that also happened to my own younger brother. But what surprised us is that after we had bought these cars and they had just stopped working, one of our rich cousin brothers, what he did is he went online, then he bought the same exact cars that we had bought. But when we look at his wealth, it doesn't make sense for someone so wealthy to buy an old sedan which was made somewhere in the early 2000s. And when we looked also at the situation that our own sister was in, we then decided that we had to do something about it, because our sister, she was given some money by her husband's sister and also a friend. She wanted to buy these lights that are rechargeable so that whenever there is load shedding, they can use those rechargeable lights. So she went to the shops, then she bought 3 lights. So she gave one light to her sister-in-law and the other light she gave to her own friend. They were working up until today. Those rechargeable lights are still working. But the light that our sister took, that light never worked. It only worked for one night. The following morning, it just stopped charging. So when we saw that we were just having bad luck, we decided to inform our family members that we were going out to find help. But when we told them, that is when they started to hate us. My brother, that is the situation that we are facing as a family. The rich are on their own side and the poor are on the other side. And if I look in the village from where I come from, graves are just everywhere, family graves. People have died, and in our family, we know that this person is about to die. When you get sick, we can actually know that this one is not going to make it, because the way that person will be behaving, that person will be so scared of death, and we don't know what is causing all of this. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Then one of our admins gave us a translation. Yane, strange things do happen. Let's meet again in the following episodes.